Okay, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, let me ask you a question. You know, let me look at some of my pictures here. Don't want to get upset here at the end of the season or end of the year. This will be the last in studio. Let me give you a little update of what we're doing here. This will be the last in studio production this year of 2018. The next time we're back in studio, it'll be 2019, so this will be our last day in here. Tomorrow, Friday, we will be at Circuit World in Blue Ridge, and we'll be there in Blue Ridge at Circuit World, and we'll have our Ask the Doc segment with Dr. William Whaley, and thank you for North Georgia Cancer Research Center there, affiliated with Northside Hospital. We have that every Friday morning, so we have Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley. Then we'll have our all-star political panel, and it's going to be a little different this coming Friday. All-star political panel with Rick, Bruce, Jane, and Candace. And then we'll have our North Georgia Senior Living with Jesse Barton. Jesse Barton is the communication director at Cameron Hall. And then we'll have our pet of the week. That will be it. Our pet of the week. The pet of the year will round out our final broadcast for 2018. Because next week, Monday's Christmas Eve, and we know the President of the United States has given all of us Christmas Eve off, right? But anyhow, Monday is Christmas Eve, the 24th. So we will be closed the 24th and the 25th here. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Team FYN Sports has taken over FYNTV broadcast. I feel like Chuck Todd being preempted by Wimbledon on MSNBC. But FYNTV.com will be taken over by Team FYN Sports. And we will be doing the Christmas Clash up in Fannin County. That'll start at 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. 65 basketball teams from all over the North Georgia and Western Carolina. We have teams from Murphy, North Carolina, Clay County, North Carolina. They're coming down. So 65 teams involved, and we will start a live broadcast 9 a.m. Okay. 9 a.m. Tuesday morning, so they take over. And then we'll be off New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So Wednesday the 2nd, is that it? Is when we'll be back. That was a long thing just to say, hey, we'll see you back January 2nd. I could have just said that, right? So tomorrow on the All-Star panel and the entire show, I'm asking everyone on the panel, including Dr. Whaley, including Jesse, everybody to share their favorite Christmas story. And I don't know what they are, whether it's when they were a child, their children, family, whatever it may be. So you don't want to miss that, okay? You don't want to miss that. We're asking everybody to share their favorite Christmas story tomorrow on the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something you don't want to miss. Okay. Rolling right into that, you got to show this. Give me number 25. I mean, it's times like this when you wish you had your tranquilizer gun. Look at this beast. I know, I did this yesterday. It's totally wrong. You can't get any more wrong. I don't know what I just said, but you can't go like, if wrong is here, wrong is here. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And I'm all the way over here. Look at this lovely beast. I should stop saying that, all right? But this is the Attorney General of the state of New York, okay? Trump Foundation to dissolve amid allegations for misusing funds. I will say, what a beast. I mean, I know. And don't blame it on me. Blame it on the Grinch. Blame it on the Grinch that stole Christmas. I mean, they even stole the roast beast. So, I mean, she's a lovely beast, right? Whoa. It's times like that when you need a tranquilizer gun. I know. Don't get so upset. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Give me number, let's go with this. Let's just go through some highlights where we start. Number 16. Now, the media can make something sound any way they want. Now, everybody is all up in arms over Trump's announcement to pull the troops out of Syria. And instead of the media, now look at this really close, okay? Now, the biggest threat to our national security is our debt. All right? How do I know that? It's there. It's the biggest threat to our national security. Senator David Perdue of Georgia, when he campaigned last time, and he's up for re-election, and it's going to be very interesting how he's going to run this campaign. He said the greatest threat to our national security is our debt. We have audio and video, like you would not believe, of then candidate David Perdue saying the biggest threat to our national security is our debt. But if the media wants to paint a picture, now if you've noticed here in the background, it's a bright sunny day in this picture, okay, at the Capitol. Looks just like a beautiful spring, right? They picked the picture. Trust me, they do this on purpose. And what is the caption there in the box? Senate passes stopgap spending bill. Stopgap. Meaning we'll come back in February and wrap this up. Stopgap. Measure still needs House approval and Trump's signature. But isn't that a bright way to start the day, knowing that there's a stopgap spending bill? Stopgap spending bill? Listen to me. Okay, now let's go to, give me number, and we'll go back to Syria in just a second, okay? Number 26. Now, we're over here on Fox now, and Fox is, you remember, the comfort food for conservatives. And McConnell says Republicans will fulfill duty. So he's fulfilling the duty. Do you? Yeah, you love it when politicians say, let me get this up here. You love it when politicians say, doing the work of the people. Don't you always love when they're doing the work of the people? We're doing the work the people sent us to do. The people do not want their government shut down. They're always up there doing the work of the people. We're doing the work of the people. I keep saying that because then I hear McConnell say, all right, what did he say there? He said, Republicans will fulfill their duty. Now remember, Republicans have the Senate. Now they would have a bigger portion of the Senate next year. But Republicans have the Senate. So all Republicans have to do in the Senate is be on board with border security. Republicans will fulfill the duty. That just scares the living hell out of me when I hear stuff like that. Let me just say to you, America, $5 billion for border security right now, in the grand scheme of things, it's a joke. America, they are laughing at you. America, they are sending a full signal that they're in charge, you're not. America, they are sending you a clear signal no matter what your vote sends a Trump, no matter what your vote sends in the Congress, Mark Meadows, no matter what your vote sends in the Senate, Ted Cruz, we don't care. Now, this goes back to May 12th, okay? But this is from the Heritage Foundation on May 12, 2018. New report shows Planned Parenthood raked in $1.5 billion in taxpayer funds over 3 years. 1.5 alone, just to Planned Parenthood. And you think for 1 minute that that man and the Republicans care? I don't know. I'm at a loss. I don't think so. Now go to number 27. Now Mark Meadows gets on the floor last night. Again, we're at Fox News. Comfort food for Republicans. Fox News. Scaring white people since 1992. House Freedom Caucus pushes back. Now, Mark Meadows here, which just last week was being spoke of as possible chief of staff, and the president said, no, Mark, get down on the floor and fight for what we believe in. We need you down there. So he does. He goes to the floor, and the House Freedom Caucus pushes back, and Mark Meadows says, Mr. President, if you veto this bill, the House Freedom Caucus will stand behind you, and the American people will stand behind you. You know, I'm afraid that Trump's going to be 5 days away of getting absolutely nothing for Christmas. I believe Trump gets nothing here. Zero. Nancy Pelosi's at a Christmas party last night for Joe Crowley's going away, and Joe Crowley is the one that got beat by, or Ocasio, whatever, the girl with the googly eyes, okay, and very light in the brain cells. I know I said it, and I'm not Don Jr., so maybe you won't tweet me back something ugly. But, you know, Joe Crowley's having a go-away party. Nancy is dancing on the front stage. All right. Trump standing on the front White House lawn saying Syria is, we're going to bring the Trumps home. What's his name? Mitch McConnell standing on the floor saying we're doing our duty, okay, in kicking this can down the road. And Mark Meadows is standing there saying, Mr. President, if you veto this, we support you and the American people will support you. And I'm afraid the President of the United States is going to get nothing out of this deal. And I, for one, believe the President of the United States should veto this immediately. And let me say something here. Go back to number 26. You can read the headlines. The headlines are all over, okay? And, you know, McConnell we are, the Senate has passed a stopgap spending bill into February, folks, just February. Just enough to get them home for Christmas, for the grandkids, you know, recitals, Christmas Eve service at the church. Come on, I mean, you know, you got to get them home. They'll be back in February, right? But I love when he says we avoided a government shutdown. Let me tell you, Mitch, you avoid a deer when driving. You avoid other things. You avoid hitting a trash can that rolled out in the road. But when you get on the stage and say you avoided a government shutdown, you didn't avoid jack. You're avoiding your duty of protecting the American people on the southern border is what you're doing. So I'd say the president, I have to say this, knowing Trump supporters get angry, but if today, and they may have already this morning because they want out of town. I mean, Nancy Pelosi's already dancing and jiggling next to the stage. But if the supporter, I mean, just saying, if the supporter, if these guys get this passed this morning and leave town, Trump's a big loser. I'm sorry. He's the total loser in this. The guy went on the main stage and he said, I'll shut it down. If that's what it takes, I'll take it. I'll shut it down. if the president comes out today and says, well, I'm going to allocate money from military and this and that, what are we going to have? We're going to have people run right in, and we're going to have people file lawsuits, and they're going to run to the 9th District, and the 9th District is going to say you can't use that money, and blah, blah, blah. And then he'll come out and say, well, we've tried to build the wall, but the liberal courts won't let us. Garbage. Bah humbug. Shut the government down. I'm afraid to say, all due respect, Mr. President, you will be the total loser in this. And you ran on border security, and you need to do it. You need to do it, and you can. It's like Rush told you. And I mean, I'm just not quoting, I don't know exactly, but hey, shut it down, go to Mar-a-Lago, play golf. Let's see what happens. You know, they never want to let anything happen because they always tell us, politicians always come out and they tell us what? We don't understand. Why? You don't know what it would be like. You don't know what will happen. You don't know what is down the road. We're saving you. So they're doing their duty by continuing to spend your money but not making any kind of headway at securing our southern border. Either side, Republicans or Democrats. I'm your host, BKB. We'll take a brief break and we'll come back. Do they have the proof they need? They have 2 documents signed by Donald Trump. Is that the proof they're looking for? We'll be back right after these messages.